SAIGON Phantom basically takes away Boost Fate, which means that can empower the side lanes, especially Sarah back at it again on this Renekton.
Flash Wolves, though, will respond by grabbing the Ziggs in the Galio, you know, taking second pick. It's, as Omo likes to say, you know, Ziggs is incredibly broken, so it's a nice pickup for the Flash Wolves.
Exactly. This still could be towards locking, so we'll see if Flash Wolves decides to play this one out in the Galio and the support role or towards Bruce, but there we go, Saigon! The Varus has been unlocked once more. We barely saw Varus yesterday, and now it's back again. So all of these single target CC focused composition from SAIGON Phantom as they lock in the Vi.
Riku, do you see this? Do you see the Yasuo?
What? Yes! I see it!
Oh my goodness, Flash Wolves coming out the gate strong, bringing in the Yasuo in game number 1. You love to see it, Riku. And pair that together with the knockups that we have. You know, you have Cookies, Justice Punch, a Satchel Charge, you get the knockup from the Riven. That's exactly what we want for Flash. For SAIGON Phantom, like you said, looking like they have that pick composition going for them, though.
Yeah, there's just so much. There's just really big team fight, all in, coming from Flash Wolves with a little bit of poke on the side as well. Big knockup, big layering of CC. And just as you mentioned for SAIGON Phantom, this is pretty big, more on the single targets with the Chain of Corruption, with the Bubble, with the Gold card, and even the Assault and Battery coming from Blake. It's going to be very exciting how they can find these picks, because I'd be afraid of the Varus. Poor Gunner here has to face against this all-in composition from Flash Wolves, and I don't think the Bubble and the Tidal Wave is going to be enough as a form of disengage.
You know, that's actually interesting that you mentioned that, Riku, there. Talk to me a little bit about this Yasuo, because this wind wall, it looks massive, right? They ban away the Braum, but then they grab another wall that looks even better with this Yasuo.
Yeah, that's true. Is able to block all of these projectiles, and it's going to be very exciting for sure, because again, Gunner is going to be incredibly vulnerable, and Flash Wolves definitely has access, and as well as they're not exactly going to get outranged just because they do have the Ziggs on their side, so I feel like locking can match Gunner in range.
Well, there we have it. SAIGON Phantoms going up against the Flash Wolves with a new Vamp composition, new Vamp team. It's a couple of role swaps. We're looking to see how this one plays out. Flash Wolves moving into game.
We'll see how the mid-game is going to look like for Flash Wolves as they can assemble this 4-1 as well as Hysera just forming in the split push. Cookie as well can do the same thing with a 1-3-1. And it's going to be interesting as well because they have Eason on this Galio, so any pressure coming from the side lanes, they can immediately respond with a Hero's Entrance, make it a 2v1, but Goni is also there to make it a 2v2 as a Twisted Fate to respond.
So it's really relying on Goni to find these angles here, and especially later on in the game, you know, as you start to see Cookies go up, the split push, this is interesting that you mentioned that, Riku. We've seen a lot of Irelia come online and really pop off in the jungle, in the mid lane, whatever you want to kind of wherever you want to kind of put it. How's this going to go into this matchup with Cookies split pushing the side lane?
Yeah, I think it's going to be very, very scary, and that's the reason why I think Flash Wolves will need assistance coming from Eason. The timing, the punish, whenever Trump Top would go all in as an Irelia, you get the taunt coming through. And I feel like with that, to play around that, the Hero's Entrance windows being off cooldown will be when Blake can go in, Trump Top can go in, and even Goni as well to join in the fray. Okay,
so looking for those windows. Exactly when the Hero's Entrance is down, and those are the moments that Flash Wolves are looking to take for themselves. SAIGON Phantoms, you do start to see an interesting move as they do find themselves a little bit more farm in the early game. Blake 1 will be able to grab these additional camps while it looks like Cookie took a bit of a sidetrack, a little bit of a side path. You know, he went on a side quest. You're a bit of a completionist. You know, you always do the side quest before moving on to the main mission. That looks like what Cookie's trying to do here.
Yeah, he's just trying to get most of the... Of course, getting that Rift Scuttler on board. I assume that Flash Wolves are going to play towards top side and see whether or not they can immediately shut down Trump Top this early. I mean, it is Hysera on this Renekton. They definitely want to unlock the lane. I am not going to be surprised if they give up the Mountain Drake just to get Rift Herald and then transition that to a first blood tower for top.
Oh yeah, cheeky play for sure. Trying to look for that gank on the top side. Doesn't seem to quite work out, but we do see an interesting move now from Blake as well as LHK going up to the top side, making sure they can punish Ysera. And with the assault and battery available, this could be an interesting gank angle. Trump Top is gonna walk in. Ysera might get baited to go for the fight. He doesn't realize he's there. He's in the fight. He's in the midst of things. Pops the dominance, but too late. Gets locked down, and it's first on the board for Saigon Phantom.
Nicely done by Saigon Phantom there. Very sneaky. Didn't even need our HK. Even when he was nearby, it was just Blake enough for that smooth gank. And we talked about this before. Flash Wolves ideally most likely wanted to shut down Trump Top, but Blake is there firsthand to get the first move, and Flash Wolves was not prepared for that.
Yeah, caught unprepared. Very nice timing as well. Cookie had just went to recall, right, Riku? So to pick up a couple items. Black won as well. Very interesting choice. Straight in for the Executioner's calling and then moving on to the Gargoyle Stone Plate. That's going to give him a lot more additional tanky stats right as they go on to this Dragon or this Rift Herald.
Yeah, more of that survivability coming in to the objectives. We'll see, though, as, again, Flash Wolves, they do want to get Ysera ahead to get that Renekton on board for that 4-1 split push, and as well as shut down Trump Top. We've seen how an Irelia can spin out of control as well, but looking at the movements, it seems to me Flash Wolves definitely want to contest this one. I mean, we talked about the 5v5, but the biggest question is, Bruce locking, not exactly as ready. They can burst someone down, but the biggest question is, will the damage be enough this early?
Oh, it's gonna happen. Saigon Phantom, they back away from the Dragon. Things are looking scary there. And I love that you're mentioning Trump Top here, Riku. Because it looked like Flash Wolves, they knew what they wanted to do, shut down the Irelia early, but instead what's happened is the Irelia got first blood. If I'm not mistaken, that was the kill over the Saigon Phantom. They find a good amount, so Trump Top is actually going to be much stronger than Ysera here, who's had to burn both his summoners going into night.
There it is.
Coming through for Bruce. They're still looking to go on, chasing them deep into the jungle. They're on the Trump Top. A couple more attacks will find it, and he will not go down. Bruce survives through it all. Blue buff won't be able to save Saigon Phantom's effort. But
Crazy. Bruce, very confident fight because of that Solari Charge Blade pickup. So there are going to be heavy crit stacks coming through in that fight. And that is the reason why Flash Wolves are extremely confident with their 5v5. Again, for Saigon Phantom, we talked about this during the draft, that feels bad man for Gunnar, especially when he's going to get, he has to go face to face against Bruce.
yeah, take a look at the fight again. This is an interesting one to start things off.
Yeah, there it is. It was Bruce heading straight to the back line. And our HK is not going to be enough because he's squishy. There is no Braum. There is no Galio to punish anything. It is just a measly Nami. And that's exactly what Flash Wolves can keep doing. Use the objectives as bait for a 5v5 team fight. And Bruce just heads straight to the back line, no issues.
This is interesting as well. Goni wasn't quite in that fight the last time around, so he didn't even use his ultimate, I think. He was sitting by the side. That was a big reason I think Saigon Phantoms couldn't get the tempo that they wanted. That being said, don't they still have the goal lead? It's a small one, but the goal lead is there, and Saigon Phantoms also have that great. So Flash Wolves, they're looking to equalize by moving towards this Rift Herald now.
They're going to get zoned out. Saigon Phantom is going to get zoned out by all of the folks coming from locking, so...
Oh no, Blake going in, but Cookie does secure the Rift Herald in time. Redemption comes through, gives them a little bit of health. Bruce going to go down here, surely though. Trump Top finds the angle, they look for the flag. Ysera pops the dominance, taking down the Irelia. Trump Top's gone, and Ysera is on to Goni, but he has to dash away. It's too much damage for him to deal with. He flashes over the wall, and Gold Card getting ready by Goni, but that's about it for Saigon Phantom.
Yeah, nicely done by Saigon. They were very patient coming into the fight, but I think the problem is, you know, they weren't able to get that steal as Cookie was able to really secure that in. But Bruce, I suppose, you know, Saigon Phantom, they were like, okay, we just need to focus down Bruce before he does anything. That's exactly what happened. Gunnar was in a very safe spot, and I feel like Gunnar, time and time again, has to save the chain of corruptions as a defensive manner. In case Cookie, Bruce, Ysera, pretty much everybody else are just going to dive into him. Rather than something as an engage tool is what I expect in the next incoming fights.
So I have to wonder as well, Riku. I think I was having this conversation with Oba before, talking about these champions like Vine, or maybe this might be with Hungry, talking about champions like with Vine, playing towards some additional damage, or playing purely for utility. It looks like Blake is going for that. Does it seem like Blake is able to jump into the fights, or does he just kind of have to sit back and peel for Gunner against Flash Wolves?
Yeah, aiming more on towards, getting a bit tanky, having to survive, having to stay in the fight as much as he can. Blake is gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine. But yeah,
he's a tanky boy. He's a beefy boy.
He's a beefy boy. He's building beefiness. But that's the thing. It is his job to peel for Gunner, because we talked about this, how Nami, HK possibly may not be enough. So the setup's gonna be there. Randuin's even getting picked up, so he's gonna get even tankier.
Yeah, a lot of emphasis on the Nami alone, so it's going to be difficult to get anything done there. Rift Arrow will charge his way through mid, maybe looking for a second charge. They do manage to smite it in time, but that's first turret, I believe, over to Flash Wolves, a nice chunk of change into their back pockets.
And the timing coming from Flash Wolves as well. It may be a tad early because the dragon has now spawned, and therefore no pressure is building towards the map. They're forced to fight this 5v5 full on as Cookie will come from the sides.
Alright, round number 2. Blake's the one to start things off. Shielded Duran zones away the Vine. They're looking to take this dragon down slowly but surely. Sarah's over the side. They're split onto two fronts. They don't have the manpower to look for this. Trump Top pops the Vanguard's edge. And Eason, he's moving in, but he has to back away. And now Saigon Phantom right back on this dragon.
Nicely done by Saigon Phantom. They were very patient. They knew that Flash Wolves wanted a pincer attack them, and they just focused one down. And unfortunately, that target was Ysera. Flash Wolves, the rest are pretty much far away for that sandwich to happen. So Saigon definitely took advantage of that.
Yeah, make great moves then. And going kind of wraps up that fight by using the Destiny to rotate back over the mid lane, clears out the wave, and now they're rotating to the top side. But this is an interesting one. Look at the zone pressure coming through. Forces Trump Top and going away. Very nice boost from Eason Cookie here.
They're really nicely done. They want to keep going through these towers and possibly getting a pick again, because even though Blake doesn't have his ult, Gunner still has his. They could possibly get another pick against Ysera. Very sad though. I think Ysera has been constantly targeted so far in this game, and it could be the trend to slow down Ysera and as well as just keep Trump Top at the very top.
Yeah, I have to say, I like this Riku. Ysera, he has run away with games before. You have to acknowledge that this guy is a main primary carry for Flash Wolves. I really like this adaptation from Saigon Phantom, and this is the Vietnamese region that we're looking for. Where was this in Divine Esports up against Boom? Saigon Phantoms have come online as the team to watch, and the Vietnamese region have, I don't want to call it too early, but I have been casting with almost, so I like to count my chicks before they hatch as well. Are looking much better in this match 1 of match 2 of Bracket B, actually.
Yeah, they look very, very solid. They look confident. They look like they are not pressured at all to make moves around the map because, again, it is Flash Wolves that will want to start the fight, and then Saigon will just react. So I imagine Saigon will go through and wait for this Infernal Drake and basically do what they did. Get a pick, make it a 4v5, as Flash Wolves would want a full-on 5 unit to access through these fights. And now look at this, though. Flash Wolves just wants to deward the Baron. But I assume Flash wants to take control of this area and see if they can bait out Saigon and possibly get a pick themselves.
Flash Wolves have a lot of combo here, so these river fights could be very nice for them.
It could be. With the taunt, Justice Punch into the AoE stun by Cookie, it is possible. Again, Gunner are very vulnerable targets. They're just going to stand there and see if they will survive. And if Flash Wolves just all-ins on them, Nami, HK can't do anything. I feel like the vision control, the flanks, the pincers are going to be key later on to the fights. Especially this Infernal Drake will be highly contested. Saigon Phantom on their way to their 3rd dragon. That means it's going to be absolutely scary once Elder spawns.
Yeah, but it's not without trying though. LHK He's already completed on Sensor and the Redemption, so pops up his team, makes them a little bit stronger. You're trying to make sure that Trump Top is going to be able to dive into the back, deal with them. But what I do like from Flash was just how much crowd control they have. It's one of the good things to deal with the Irelia here, I think. And like you mentioned, third Drake, it's going to be the Infernal. And so if Saigon Phantom are able to grab that, that's a win condition. It's difficult to play into the Ziggs. There's a lot of wave clear, is able to kind of stop teams from finding momentum. But once you get Baron, you know, he loses a lot of his power.
Yeah, exactly. That is, you know, looking into this 2-item power spike. Again, Ludens and Rabadons is your sweet spot. So for Saigon, they have to be wary. They can't exactly stay in one spot as well at this. But then they do have Gunner, though, to respond with the poke. So we'll see if Flash Wolves will just instantly hit that go button. Look at them, though. They're trying to form this possible pick, perhaps. But of course, Saigon Phantoms, they see this coming.
Yeah, playing in the mid lane. So what happens now, Riku? What goes into the Riku notebook? You know, why are you looking to see Saigon Phantoms try and get done here? So it looks like the Destiny's already been proc. This starts things off early, but I think they have to back away. It might be a bit too ambitious to try and force a fight here. Go-Kart comes through, but that's all they have, really.
In a 5v5 scenario, Flash Wolves are definitely going to win.
All right, Saigon Phantoms, they've got impatient. They're done waiting. They're done waiting for this fight. They're going to start on their own. Nice tidal wave. And coming through with the ultimates as well. Locking down the Hero's Entrance. Finds nobody in that time. Trump Top, he's going golden. He's holding on for time. Cookie dodges away from the Flawless Duet. It's a nice last breath coming through from Bruce. But he's gone into 4 from Saigon Phantoms. There are too many there for him to deal with. But Blake's caught by this back on the wall. Doesn't have his teammates there to protect him. He's going to go down. And Gunner nearly gets taken out by locking 2. Saigon Phantoms pulled the trigger, but a bit too aggressive there.
And that was just too close. That would have been an Infernal Drake in favor of Saigon Phantom. And that's the reason why they all decide to just back away and respect the fact that they've lost members on both sides. Especially Blake is the jungler that is gone. Fight. Flash Wolves still, again, not confident. Just because, again, this composition requires them to be complete. And with that, I like to take a look at that replay. All their focus, their efforts are towards Blake as he's in front. But remember, he is insanely tanky. He has that Randuins. He has a lot of tanky items on the board. So if Flash Wolves just mainly focuses on him, it is going to be the carries like Gunner and Goni going to be happy about that one. As again, Blake is buying them some time.
All right, we jump back in, and Flash Wolves have already got the Infernal Drake. And we're just about 15 minutes into the game, so I have to hear your thoughts on this, Riku. How is Goni in the mid lane? Are you surprised, happy? He's playing Twisted Fate. He's not going to play anything like the Darius mid lane. Going to play a traditional AP mage. How's this feeling out for you?
Yeah, for Flash Wolves, for Saigon Phantom, rather, I feel like they're going to be in danger. Especially as the game progresses later on. Flash Wolves are not going to hesitate to just go full on heavy dive, and just head straight to the back line. And it will all depend on the vision control that Flash. He's going to cut off escapes in the mid lane, or possibly just stay around the jungle and get a flank set. Even Isera as well can do that. The more map control Flash Wolves acquire in this map, the more chances that they can assemble that pincer or that flank that we talked about. These death brushes as well are going to be insanely scary. I mean, looking at Saigon Phantom, look at them. They've got 3 Zonius Hourglass and no Twin Shadows, so I imagine Flash Wolves are going to be comfortable setting up these death brushes.
There we have it. Saigon Phantoms, they're Ralph in the bus, and Flash Wolves, they're the one driving it. So Saigon Phantoms chuckles, I'm in danger, just like Trump Top by BS. Cookies one walk up to the top, down to the bottom side. Goni pops the ultimate, gets some information. They're onto the Baron quickly. They spot out the jungler, so they know they're not going to be there. But it looks like they're going to back away. It's a little bit too risky to try and finish it for Saigon Phantom.
They're too risky because Trump Top is absent that entire sequence. So we'll see now what Saigon decides to do. Because again, this is the team that will gladly take a pick if they see one.
All right, they're back.
But in an all-in engage, they will definitely use everything defensively.
Well, back again. Saigon Phantoms, they're the one to start up the Baron, and Flash Wolves here to respond. Ethan, he pops his enchantment early. Look at how tanky he is. They force him back. Oh, HK's looking low. Might just go down. Blake tries to re-engage back onto Bruce, but he's way too tanky. Has a Guardian Angel to boot. And that makes it a difficult fight to go for. Saigon Phantoms, they're flanking over from sides, trying to decide what they want to do, decipher something here, but they're just going to have to back off.
The Dominus, oh, they're going in.
They flash onto him. They're looking to take it down. Gunner's gonna go down. Gunner's gone. Gunner's dead. Flash Wolves with a massive pickoff in the jungle.
Exactly what we were talking about 3 minutes ago. Cutting off the escape. Cutting off the escape of the carries.
The SAIGON Phantoms, they've got way too impatient. They're still looking to try and take this fight. Flash Wolves, they have the tempo, the momentum to chase them down. The Aqua Prison catches up Bruce, but they have nothing to follow up with. They're just going to have to back away. Give this one up. Flash Wolves get away.
Yeah, that's 30 seconds without Gunner, without their poke. That means Flash Wolves can possibly set up for Baron, deward a little bit, reset, buy more items. Look at that. That is Guardian Angel already completed for both of scary melee champions, Isera and as well as Bruce. So they're going to survive on top of the stasis enchant that they have. They're just going to out-sustain SAIGON Phantom into a fight here. And let's take a look at that replay. Literally 3 minutes ago, we were talking about cutting off escape, and that's exactly all we saw. Gunner had no choice but to accept his death at that point.
Yeah, we're just watching as Flash Wolves have scaled out of control. SAIGON Phantom really don't have a good way to deal with this. And the combo starting to pan out for Flash Wolves. You know, all the knockups working in for Bruce, and Bruce, honestly, he's an independent Yasuo. He don't need no knockup from his team. He can make things happen on his own. SAIGON Phantom is looking a little bit impatient, and that's pretty much characteristic of the Vietnamese region. I have to say, that's one of the beautiful parts of SAIGON Phantom. And going into this one, you know, continue to make things happen. I think TJ has mentioned himself. SAIGON Phantom are a team that like to play for that 70-30. They like to do a coin flip, and they coin flip so damn often.
Yeah, I mean, they're able to catch up in gold here. Oh, look at that damage. Gunner, he's already half HP. He's not prepared for this fight.
Yeah, and so is our HK. Gon's gonna walk in. They have to stop this pickup for the Elder Drake here. But it's looking low. 6,000 HP. It's going down so quickly. They need to find an entry now. Okay, here's the tidal wave. They get the engagement. Blake 1 leading in. They jump into the back with Cookie. But Vi has no backup. He doesn't have his team with him. And Cookie jumps in. He has to win/fight so much damage in the process. The heroic entrance locks them all down. SAIGON Phantoms falling to pieces. 3 dead, 4 dead, and running for the hills. Drop tops left alone here.
What a fight from Flash Wolves there. They just abandoned this dragon and just go straight to the Nexus.
It's done and over. Flash Wolves are knocking on the door. This is the victory march as they walk in on the Nexus. Locking still alive. The Ziggs. Every one of Flash Wolves is in here, and they're looking to take down the Nexus. Trump can only get so much done by himself. Buys a little bit more time, but this is the Flash Wolves coming in big with the first win of the series.
A dominating performance coming from Flash Wolves here with their full-on 5v5 teamfight composition. It looked shaky in the middle, but at the end of the day, they were able to